Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away.
All right.
Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
The thing that attracted me to my initial community issue was that it was something that was close to home. It was something I had personally dealt with, and therefore I thought it would be easy to talk about. Well, this was my main reason to pick it. Secondly, for an introductory speech, I thought this gave a good glimpse into my life. It showed where I was from, what my life was like, and this issue that I had to deal with in high school.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
The call to action that my group put forward was that everyone can do a little bit to make people with disabilities' lives better. The reason I did this was through research, we found that people with disabilities often felt like they were being pushed out, that they weren't included, and that this disability they had was holding them back. And so during our speech, my group members and I really wanted to push the point that being inclusive and treating people with disabilities like normal people would really greatly impact them and make their lives better. And that was the reason that our call to action was that everyone can do a little bit to make their lives better.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
If you asked my other group members what my biggest strength was, I think they'd say using technology or organization. The reason I say using technology is because on our first day together working on this project, we found that we weren't going to be able to get together and meet up to work on it. So I introduced them to Google Docs. Google Docs allowed us to work on this project without actually being together. And this was great because we all had very different schedules and they were all very busy. I'd say organization also because in the Google Doc, I was able to clearly mark out who got what part of the speech and put our whole outline there so they could see how the speech was going and what it was looking like.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
Personally, I found that the most challenging thing was that we didn't have the same expectations. I came in wanting to get an A on this project, and I found that my partners were more willing to just get through this project. They didn't want the A necessarily, they just wanted to pass. And this is something I struggled with, and it led to me often doing more work than I really should have. And that was a problem, and it was stressful for me.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
Definitely my biggest takeaway is being able to signal when I'm changing topics. This was something I had an issue with before I got to this class or before I even came to NDSU. The reason that I had an issue with this is because my mind's often going at 100 miles per hour. And when I was talking with somebody, they would have trouble keeping up with me. And by using things I used in Comm 110, like signposts and signaling, that'll better allow me to communicate, which will not only be more important in my education, it will be important in my career further down the road. And I think that is really what will stick with me the most overall.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
All right. Thank you.